Hi students, I am back to you once again with a poem that is Childhood by Marcus Nathan. Dear students, before we learn the poem, let's learn something about the word meanings. What is the meaning of go? Go means ended. In this poem, go means ended. Next, cease to be means stop being. Cease to be means stop being. Next, realized means understood, to come to know, isn't it? So next, seemed means appeared, dikhai dena. Preached means taught, sikhana. Act, behave. Really mind means when not influenced by other opinions. That is called really mind. Yes, whichever means any. Thoughts means views or opinions. Got it? Next, infant means small child or small baby. Hidden means concealed or kept secret. That is called hidden, or which is not viewed or not seen. That is called hidden. Next, forgotten means unremembered, which we cannot remember. That is called forgotten. So dear students, let's start the poem. Let's learn the poem that is Childhood by Marcus Nathan. Dear students, whenever we ask someone like 90 years old man about his life, then definitely he will say about his infant or about his childhood, isn't it? So we too are missing the childhood. In this poem, the poet is missing his childhood and his what's called remembering his childhood. So we too also remembering and missing his childhood. So no one can what is called omit or deduct the childhood. So whatever we need to do in the childhood, that will be done. Yes or no? The playing, the naughty things, everything. We cannot what is called avoid the childhood. So everyone has to cross the childhood. So dear students, the poet is missing his childhood and he is asking himself the questions. Many questions after questions. In a variety way, he is asking questions. The question starts from stanza 1, that when did my childhood go? The poet is asking, which is the right time that my childhood is gone or ended? Yes or no? When did my childhood go? The poet is asking himself, he is missing his childhood. Though since he is missing his childhood, that is why he is asking that when did my childhood go? I miss my childhood. So he is putting questions to himself and at the same time he is answering to himself. That he says that perhaps I ceased to be 11. When did my childhood go? I think, or perhaps when I crossed the age of 11, this is the time I stopped or I missed my childhood, he says himself. When did my childhood ended? I think when I reached the age of 11 or when I crossed the age of 11, is it the time my childhood is ended? Also again he says in the first stanza itself, I realized about hell and heaven. The poet is saying, I realize, means I come to know. When I came to know about the hell and heaven, at that time, I think my childhood go. Dear students, the poet is asking himself questions and then at the same time he is answering himself, isn't it? Yes or no? So he is asking question himself and answering himself that when did my childhood go? I ceased to be 11 or I realized about hell and heaven. Maybe he says that when I reached the age of 11 or when I realized about the hell and heaven, which is not mentioned in the geography book, maybe that time I completed my childhood or I ceased, my childhood is ended. In the second stanza, when did my childhood go? Again he is asking the same questions. Yes or no? Again the same questions arises, or he asks himself that when did my childhood go? Dear students, he says that I realized adults when what they say never do. They talk of love but never act lovingly. The poet is saying himself, maybe when I came to know about the adult, those who speak about love, good manners and good things, but they never follow it. They speak, they preach, but they never abide it. They teach us, or they speak about the good things, the adults, good manners, about the love, manners, but those people, they don't act lovingly. Maybe it is the time, perhaps this is the time when I was able to know about the adults. I think that is the time I have ended my childhood. So when did my childhood go? He answers, he asks himself questions, at the same time he is answering himself. When did my childhood go? Maybe when I was at the age of 11, or when I was able to realize about hell and heaven, or when I realized about the adult, those who speak about good things, love, good manners, and they don't behave. It is the time I was, or my childhood is ended. My childhood is go. Next, third stanza. When did my childhood go? The same questions again he is asking, my dear students. Time and again, repeatedly, the same questions the poet is asking himself. He is missing his childhood, isn't it? So that is why he is asking time and time again that when did my childhood go? Dear students, maybe my thinking became of mine. The poet says, my childhood is go when my thinking became my own, or my decisions became my own, or I made these decisions freely without the interference of others. So when I decide, nobody interfere. Or when I became my opinions, my own, my view, my what is called, everything was mine freely. My decision was made by myself. I think that is the time my childhood is gone. My dear students, the poet Marcus Nathan asking himself questions and putting some suggestions himself that perhaps maybe at the age of 11, or when I realized the hell and heaven, or when I came to know about the adults, or when I came to know about their love and affections, those people they speak but they don't abide. Or when I became my opinion, my own, my decisions, my own, or nobody interfered about my decisions, I think that is the time my childhood is gone. My dear students, next, the fourth stanza, the questions, the poet changes. How is changing? Where did my childhood go? First three stanzas, the poet asks questions that when did my childhood go? Isn't it? Which is the right time my childhood go? But in the fourth stanza, he has written that he says, where did my childhood go? I am not able to see my childhood. It is, I think, gone to forgotten place or to the infant face and smile. The poet is telling that I think my childhood is gone to the new generations, to the infant baby. Maybe. And it is already kept in the forgotten place maybe. So that is why I am not able to find it. I am not able to see it. Or I am not able to get it. Where did my childhood go? Where did my childhood go? That is what the poet is saying, regretting himself, feeling very much sorry, feeling sad, and saying that where did my childhood go? It has gone to a forgotten place, which I can't remember now. And he says, perhaps it is hidden in an infant face and smile, he says. Dear students, the poet is asking question himself, when did my childhood go? Where did my childhood go? At the same time, he's answering himself. Maybe he's guessing. Maybe at the age of 11. Or maybe when I was able to realize about hell and heaven. Or maybe when I came to know about the age of adult. Or about the adult, those who speak good things but they don't abide, isn't it? Or maybe when I was able to, what is called, make my own decisions freely without the interference of others. Maybe that is the right time. My childhood is gone, or my childhood is ended. And at the last stanza he says that where did my childhood go? Maybe it is in that forgotten place where I can't remember. Or it is maybe replaced in the new generations, I think. Yes or no? Dear students, this poem goes to its end. I think all of you got it well, this poem, and understood well. Thank you very much.